How's it going, man?
Scott, I guess your mic's not working. You're not hearing what we're doing here tonight.
You said when the 18 passes by. I pulled out when the 18 passes by, Joe.
I just cleared his black flag.
You said when the 18 passes by. I pulled out when the 18 passes by, Joe. You have to key up every time with this bogus black flag stuff, or you just gonna clear them?
Yeah, you can key up, buddy, if I forget to hear it, bud.
Yeah, that slap's not true.
Guys, you got to pay attention to what you're doing. You're entering the racetrack with cars still going. We got Tyler coming in now. He's going to help better orchestrate this. We're getting a lot of race cars out here. We're getting a lot of confusion. We're trying our best to give you guys clean laps, but it's just not working.
All right, why are these other cars out here?
Because this is the practice session, it's not the actual qualifying yet.
Yeah, but Joey said we're just going to run it like we're running qualifying. That way everybody gets a true lap time versus a draft lap time. Yeah, but Joey said we're just going to run it like we're running qualifying. That way everybody gets a true lap time versus a draft lap time.
Right.
The track is clear now, guys. Next car can take off.
Yeah, I was waiting for the 7.
You just got...
No, don't go, don't go.
Doug, get off the track, please. You need to have everyone lined up.
Black flag, black flag.
Black flag. If I can, guys, I'm off the tail, make sure I get all these cleared.
Nose up, can go.
So the first title was Sim500. Yeah, right. And that's how I think it's about a couple of years. And we developed one of that. So you could have.
I'm pulling off. I came out too early.
Hey guys, Somke here. Are we doing 2-lap practice qualifying runs?
Is that what's going on?
Yes, that is what we're doing.
And I see that black flag's being cleared, so we just jump out on the track after the car does the second lap.
Correct. So you need to line up on pit road and wait your turn.
Roger that.
Tyler, if I back up pit road here, I'm going to get disqualified, right?
If you do, let me know and I'll quickly clear it.
Okay, because it's going to happen because I'm all here at the front.
You might screw up, you.
Now, Tyler, now. Thank you.
Okay, well, this is gonna be fun.
Hey, Kelly's not in his car, so you can go around him. Okay. He's back.
Bob just went by there.
Hey guys, real fast, anybody that wants to be interviewed tonight, we're going to try our best to do it in order, but once your qualifying lap is complete, you come up below the LSR TV booth in the waiting room, and you go there. Please have the chat down because we will be pulling people into the broadcast booth, and we do not want to catch a bad conversation or a conversation period. So again, if you want to be on the radio or on the broadcast tonight, talk about your sponsors or whatever, just feel free to jump up the waiting room. We'll try to get everybody accommodated. Go.
I don't know what's going on here. He's not coming up on my relative.
Stopped on the backstretch. That was his second lap.
Go. 96, you may leave pit road. Run 2 qualifying laps, and then you may park.
Yeah, and it wasn't showing anything on my relative for him.
Yeah, I'm having the same thing too. Once 96 jumps off of pit road, I don't see him. He's just gone.
Chris, you can go ahead and take your run too. He's far enough out.
I don't think you're live, Bobby. He's coming out of 4 right now.
Thank you.
Hey, and then this is Somke in the 3 at the front. Can you let me know when it's my turn to go? Because either I'm blinking or the cars are blinking. I don't see anybody on the track besides the cars on pit road.
Yeah, okay, Dylan.
Yeah, I'm having the same problem. None of the cars are showing up.
Who's on the track right now?
That would be the 5 car somewhere. Chris.
Yeah, it's not showing up on any cameras.
Go ahead and go 03.
10-4, thank you.
Guys, the live broadcast, or the broadcast is live now. Going to just be kind of showing a little bit of what's going on around the track. I'll have the Facebook post, Facebook video, or live feed on the Sim500 Esports Racing League page, and also the YouTube link is on the page now.
black flag.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like every 15 seconds clearing all, so they'll get cleared immediately. Just give it a second.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again to LSR TV. Tonight should be an interesting night of not racing, but qualifying. But that's going to be coming up here in just a few moments. Before we get to all of that and all the details that are about to come your way, I am Charles Wood, your host, up in the studio / production room. Trackside is going to be Kevin, England, and Joey Gina. So we're going to send it to them. So Kevin, we'll take it down trackside with you and Joey.
Yeah, thanks, Charles. Hello, everyone, and welcome to LSR TV's coverage of the Sim500 Esports Racing League, brought to you by North Carolina's Call 811 before you dig. Tonight, we're kicking off the season with qualifying for the season-opening next-gen cup race at Daytona. Welcome in, one and all. I'm Kevin England, and I am joined in the booth, as you just heard, by the owner of Sim500, none other than Joey Jatina. Joey, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thanks, Kevin. Not fast, so I guess I'll talk tonight. I'll talk real fast. I'm not fast in the car.
It's been a little over 3 months since
Go ahead.
the close of the 2021 season and Josh Parker's championship crown in November. All the drama, the points, the storylines of 2021 is now today. Marks the beginning of the season.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm excited. It's a new season. It's fun. We got the transfer from the NC811 race car to the Sim500. We got
Showing up the black flag. That was an unsafe pit exit. 87 instead of a 30-second penalty.
He's not walking through my own black flag when I'm back down here early.
50.573.
Based on the 2021 points, and then we have a host of guys trying to crack their way in to the Daytona 500K. It's the Daytona 300 here at Sim500.
Yeah, the qualifying procedures, 2-time laps. There are some rules to ensure qualifying package. Default weather, static, wind, temperature is the same for everybody.
Yeah, I don't know what to do. So I guess I'm just be sitting behind the 48.
Is that right?
Yeah,
We did a lottery draw, and this is kind of the way it's stretched out. I think that's the fairest way of doing it. So we announced that last week, and actually a couple days ago. This program was just put together.
When you go forward, it should clear. It should.
It was actually brought to by Daniel Falkingham. Daniel said, "Hey, we're going to show up on Monday.
Hello.
Let's go live qualifying." We haven't done this in a couple of years, but it's something that we have done in the past. It is a lot of fun for our drivers. It's not something that you do anytime else have live qualifying. So here at Daytona to kick our season, here at Daytona to kick our season off.
Did Mike pull off?
Love it. We think it's a lot of fun. We
Nope, I'm just finishing my first lap.
This program, we haven't done this.
Go ahead.
And this is kind of the way it's duels, the 811 duels.
Go ahead, 84. This is race control.
Obviously, the cars that are not locked in will be racing their way in. So it's going to be a heck of a show starting tonight all the way for the next couple of weeks here in Daytona.
Yeah, and one of the cool things about Sim500 is it's not a league overburdened with a bunch of rules, but there are some instructions for these drivers here tonight. They have to come up to the line, turn their engines off while they're awaiting the qualifying run. There are unfair advantages that you could do as a driver, a couple things like burnouts and so on. All that stuff is disallowed. The drivers are going to get 2 laps for qualifying for the front row here tonight. And as you said, dual races scheduled for February 21st. The 2 dual races plus the 2 that qualify here tonight will set the 42 positions for the Daytona 300 race. And then the final spot on the field will go to the fastest non-qualifier. And, I like what you guys did for the exception. Sometimes things happen in live races and qualifying, and, it could prevent someone from getting locked into the field. And you have a contingency if somebody doesn't show up for that race to put other drivers in to make sure we have a full field. Talk about how you're going to bring in, what do you call it, contingency drivers if you don't get a full field for that Daytona race.
Well, I don't think it's going to be an issue of having a full field, Kevin, as we have 57 cars coming to Daytona tonight to take time and then to try to qualify their way in. But the contingency really hovers around if a driver who has locked himself in the field, whether it be a top 30 car or he qualified himself into the duels or through tonight, if they can't make it by some circumstance, life happens. And Daytona, again, we're stretching over 3 weeks. Again, it's not just a normal weekend. So if somebody were to pull out, how we'll fill that spot will be based on the most starts at Sim500. So we've got guys, speaking of the most starts, Chad Coleman has 895 starts.
They show you back black flag, Tyler.
O'Rourke, 843. The race to 1,000's going on right now.
I've been clearing them about every 15 seconds.
Well,
Randall,
in the league at 647. I got a long way to go to catch
you just
those
messed
guys.
up Joey's lap, Randall.
Yeah, I love the way you did that. Reward the guys that have been around for a long time, the veterans.
Sorry about that. I thought we were supposed to go when he went by. I thought he dropped
down. They've been
down.
supporting this league for so long, and they get a little street cred for that. And
pull up, Randall, and go to the back of the line.
These lap times out there.
Gotcha.
Joey, and you're going to go practice that. I don't know if we want to give away any of your secrets.
Joey, if you want to go ahead of the line, go ahead.
Qualifying. There's just something about it that
No,
some of these
fine.
drivers you
That's
mentioned
fine. I'm used to it. Every day. Every day.
Qualifier
Every
just
day.
understands and can read the wind or something like Earnhardt. How do you get a fast lap here?
I don't know about everybody else, but I'm not seeing anybody on the relative and going by on the track.
I mean, he's actually prepared videos for us today to kind of go through, but
you might not have enough cars to go on.
Well, it's how you drive, it's how smooth you are, and Tyler is one of the best. He is.
Got to bring it back on the end. Got to put ice back in the radiator.
He's close to being the man at Sim500.
Well, I was seeing the cars at the beginning of the session, but now all of a sudden they're not appearing.
For Tyler, 28%.
That's because, Gerald, you're drawing on the amount of the cars isn't relative to the amount of the cars that are on pit road. It's drawing all those cars, and so therefore it's not showing anything in relative.
Yeah, he's almost like a
I'm next. You have to tell me when to adjust that. You have to adjust that.
About this, and as we watch some of these cars, we've got the 27 on screen. There's a couple differences this year. Numbers placed forward. If you haven't been following NASCAR, the change in the number design, and obviously we're working on a new style of car. There's different Chevys, different Fords, different Toyotas out here tonight.
Yeah, the new car, Kevin, we were kind of concerned what we were going to get with it, but iRacing, of course, NASCAR with their product has really brought a great race car, good drafting car.
All right,
the two-car tandem now is coming into play now with this, so it's going to be interesting. We had our first run as we closed out the winter segment, the Trans Service Blizzard Cup Series, and it was intense. I can't even remember how many lead changes we had, but I mean, the car was just a rocket ship. It was fun to drive. That's before the update to where the car actually has a little bit more of the tandem action. So we won't get to see a whole lot of that tonight, but come next Monday, it's going to be wild.
Yeah, and I spent a lot of my nights in that winter season racing with you guys at Sim500, and especially liked the package of this car. I know there were mixed reviews in the beginning. It almost feels like they just put a generic setup underneath the car, raced a lot like an IROC car, if I could describe it that way. But with the latest update and the different tuning that they've done on the car, the last couple races with it have been really enjoyable.
Yeah, and I mean, we've talked about this car being the great equalizer. That's obviously what NASCAR's goal was, but in the sim world, it's becoming that too. A driver like Mike Montesi won back-to-back races in the Blizzard Series, had a chance to win the championship, but of course, the king of Sim500, Daniel Falkingham, was able to bring that home during the winter season. Daniel actually has it. He scored his 100th win during the winter season, so this guy is on a tear as far as his wins go. There's nobody any better than Falkingham. We're trying to find a way to get him to go pro quick. 102 wins for Daniel Falkingham right now at Sim500. The next guy in line, Justin Fuller, with 59. But Kevin, we're talking numbers. Something we mentioned, with Sim500, we race 7 nights a week. Currently, every night is race night. We're always broadcasting. We got great broadcast partners. Go to sim500.com to check that out. Tuesday night super late models. Thursday night NASCAR Dirt Series. Midnight Thunder on Friday. That's the series I started years and years ago. The NASCAR 03 days with Brian Keselowski. Still going, getting 35-plus trucks every Friday night. And then Saturday, we've got the 87 cars, all broadcast, all free events right now for our drivers.
Shannon, you can go ahead and go.
That want to come in and race. But, Kevin, we've had 90, let's see, my numbers are right here. I think we have 80 some odd drivers, or 90, look real fast. 82 drivers have started 100 races at Sim500. That's pretty strong, isn't it?
I have to say that, I've been racing with you guys a couple nights a week over this winter season, and the competition has just been amazing. The drivers, as long as you're clean and you got to be kind of fast and have your glue together, you're going to have a great time. And big, deep, rich fields, guys that are super fast. You're racing against Falkingham and Coleman and those guys. But, no matter what your skill level, if you have a clean driving style, you're going to have a blast racing in any of those divisions. I've run dirt with you guys. I've run trucks. I've run Xfinity. Love the super speedway. I mean, Sim500, it's got what you need if you want to just have a diversity of racing.
Yeah, Kevin, and we got anything you want. Like I said, 7 nights a week of racing, but here it is. We're kicking off the 5th year of the Monday Night Cup Series. This would be our 6th season. We actually, when we first opened the doors, we elected to go with the Xfinity car, and Malik Ray won that championship way back when 6 years ago. So we consider this our 5th season, but 6 years in a row we've been racing on Monday now. The league just keeps growing. Every time we think that
contact the insurance company.
We may be looking for something else to do, it just keeps going. But you go look at the amount of starts some of these guys have, and I guess that's the
pull off. You're going to mess up. He's got 2 left.
Friendships that we have here. A lot of guys.
I heard all right. I went. Sorry.
Really admit. So, but yeah, I mean, that's how we get the racing we get. Not very many weeks ago in this car exactly, Kevin, in the Winter Series, we went 140 laps with 35 race cars at Iowa. The right front was blowing on some race cars. Guys were able to get to pit road. They were top of the track, middle of the track, bottom of the track. I mean, it's just some of the best racing you're going to get, and a lot of that is because of the nucleus of the group that's been together for so long.
Yeah, we're about 10 minutes away from first.
Kevin, go ahead and go.
To the track. These drivers just doing their final shakedowns. We see John Fowler out there cruising around the circuit. And, you know, one of the things I like about Sim500, Joey, is after the race, a lot of guys just jump into a room here in Discord and hang out, and the conversation follows what happened in the race. Everybody does a little polite ribbing. Sometimes it's a little severe, but it's all in good fun. And then, you know, there's guys talking about how to make steak on the weekends and going fishing. And, you know, we have people from Tennessee and we have people from New Jersey and Long Island. And, you know, we had Donnie Leah's, was it girlfriend or wife, yakking at us the other night. It's just a fun group to hang around with, too. It's a great community.
Yeah, the after race sessions we found was a good way to break bread when we've been in the heat of battle. It's been nice to kind of sit down and go through the broadcast of the race and do a review every, you know, of our premiere series. We'll do a review, and that kind of helps make things a little easier, Kevin.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, while we are getting closer to this, we have to look down this stack and see who gets to go first. And Rob Priory, he's the guy who gets to break the ice for us tonight. And I think we'll take a second and go grab him as we watch Tyler Dalton go around here. I think you and I heard Tyler say he wasn't going to show his hand here tonight. Is whatever Tyler does, people tend to watch.
Yeah, Tyler couldn't help himself. He had to go out there and show what he had. Another 19 car. It's for Tyler, it's all about the pole, man. That's all he cares about, like you said, with the Ryan Newman situation. That's him. If he gets the finishes to back that up, he'll be one of the best here in the future at Sim500.
Yeah, you talk about that polite ribbing they were doing. Tyler always tells everybody he thinks he could have won the race. So you and I were in the channel often enough with him. He always does have a legitimate.
Whoever said that, they need to quit smoking.
Toes, but he's always in the hunt, and I think he's going to be one to watch here. If he can get some consistent time frames going on here in the 2022 season, I think he's going to do well in the point standings.
I agree with you as well, Kevin. He's got a great shot. So there's a lot of guys here tonight, but looks like we've got our first qualifier in the booth, Kevin. Rob Ferry. Be interested to kind of see what his thoughts are as he leads us out in the qualifying here shortly.
Yeah, so Rob, we were just joking. Welcome into the LSR TV booth. You get to break the ice here tonight. You get to go first by luck of the draw.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. A little nerve-wracking. I'm just gonna, do the best I can, and hopefully I can out-qualify the other guys that are not in the top 30.
Yeah, and for your hard work, I'm guessing you put in a lot of hours, or at least thought through this quite considerably as to how to eke every ounce of speed out of your car here tonight.
I have. It's just a matter of putting it all together for one. Hope for the best.
So we've been able to rub fenders a little bit during the winter season, and I'm sure you enjoyed that. Did you run any of the super speedway races?
Yeah, I think we ran Daytona. I believe it was the series finale, and I was able to run it.
Yeah, relative, at least to me, you are a relative newcomer here. How did you find Sim500 and Sim500, and how are you liking it here?
Well, I like it a lot. One of my teammates is Nelson Rivera, and I've known Nelson for, I don't know, probably 12, 13 years. And I was a long-time member of iRacing back from 2008. And I had taken a break from like 2013 until about a year and a half ago. So I'm just now trying to get back into it again. So I'm kind of reconnecting with some of the guys I used to run with and stuff.
Well, I expect a lot out of you this year, having watched you during the winter season. You've come in, you kind of got acclimated. I'm sure you're getting a sense of who's who and how to run. And
go ahead and go, Jeff.
Tonight you
There's
get
someone else on track.
Start us off. Where are you from, Rob?
I'm from Catskill, New York.
Ah, a northern boy like me. I live in New Jersey.
Come and go, so I'm screwing Joey up.
A New York guy joining us.
Hey, we'll see you on track, Rob. Good luck to you tonight, and we'll see. Glad to have you at Sim500 first and foremost, man. And I know you ran the winter with us, but good luck tonight. You're leading us out, no pressure.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
Yeah, that's Rob Priory. We're going to let him go back to game face and get himself ready for this. And Joey, what I really enjoy is you get the characteristics of different drivers. Bob Gillenwater from Tennessee Just, he's a hoot to talk to.
Are we
He's
able
talking
to
me.
line
You're
up?
looking for
Even if
Virginia.
it's not our turn at the
You got
moment.
Rob
Just
coming from New
to check
York.
the practice.
Do we have any West Coasters out here?
Yes, this is practice right now. Go ahead and line up.
Sure.
You've only got about 5 minutes, though.
Just called it with me. He's going to go out in the 4th spot. Looks like Jose Medina is not going to be here. That's not the song.
Go, Randall.
That's a different Jose Medina.
Go ahead and go, Randall. Go ahead and go.
He is not going to make tonight's race or qualifying based on a traveling vacation he's got coming up. But I want to wish him and the family a safe trip. But I do have John Fowler. He's our Thursday night NASCAR Dirt Series admin. He's rolling on 4th tonight. John, it's your first time for this at Sim500. Made you nervous?
Just a little bit. Now I know how them lower guys feel on Sunday or Wednesdays now.
Well, what's your thought, man? You think you have something from the pole tonight?
I think I do, man. We've been practicing a lot, especially today, and we think we found something. And we'll see what I got, man. I'm gonna hold that bottom line and do my best.
Awesome, John. Well, anything you want to talk about NASCAR while we got you up here? I know you got some exciting things coming up here very soon.
I'm gonna pull and not take my second.
Oh yeah, if you guys like some dirt racing, man, you need guys need to jump over and join us. Our second season is starting next Thursday on the 24th. Practice goes up at 8:35. We got qualifying starts at 9:05, and we got broadcasters, we got sponsors. The champion this year will get a whole season worth of setups from they used to be Rocket setups. I gotta learn the new name there. My sponsor.
Not good, John. We'll cut that part out. Sorry, sponsors.
I think it's primary sponsors. That's what it is. Primary
If you guys are just going to pull off, you're not going to run your second lap, please pull off on the back stretch and exit there. Don't come back around.
From them. But yeah, they jumped on board. I got TNA Motorsports. They jumped up. They helped big time with the league. They helped last year.
Not pulling off.
Did, the back road challenge.
Thomas Run.
Do $25 for back road challenge. If you sit in the pole and you want to take that challenge, you can. If nobody gets it, then the following week it goes up $50. Next week $75. So last season I got up to $150. So it's kind of fun.
Probably have a 150
I enjoy it. Joey races with us. He made it.
Sony go.
Yeah. What's that saying? Blind dog finds whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, John. Well, look, good luck to you tonight, man. I see we got J. Randall Watkins. He's another guy we want to get to before we get this thing rolling. But good luck to you tonight, man. We're watching that 48.
All right, hey, you guys better pull me up here when I get this pole.
There you go, buddy.
All right, you have a good one.
Good luck.
That'd be premierracingsetups.com is that website for that.
Well, we'll work on John and his sponsors later. Maybe I'll have to wipe with call cars. Kevin, I grabbed Randall Watkins. Randall's back here with us in the 27 car. He's recovered from some health issues. But Randall, glad to have you out here. How's things looking tonight? You got something for the poll?
I hope so, but I just kind of, for some reason, I'm suffering from my qualifying year lately.
Yeah, that's me too. That's why I'm in the booth tonight, Randall.
Fowler, go.
Well, any sponsors out there you want to thank, Randall, as we get ready to go qualifying here? I don't think we got but about 2 minutes to go, so I want to keep you up here too long.
All right. Definitely the John Boy and Billy Show out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And, of course, my teammates on Dirty Monkey Motorsports, Doug Roth, John Fowler, and Anthony Calatoni. And my girlfriend threatened me if I didn't give her a shout-out, Stacey King, that I was going to pay for it later.
Well, I think you owe me money. I brought you up here, so we're good.
All righty.
Pulling off in the back.
Hey, good luck tonight, John. Randall, sorry. Good luck.
Thank you.
So that's how it works.
Yeah, and we're missing names and sponsors, but we're here.
All good. This is the fun of a new season, is trying to get used to, we're looking at Thomas O'Leary out there in the Virginia 811 call before you take car, and it's going to take a while to get that figured out as to who's who. We're going to recognize the numbers, but some of these guys have even switched numbers this season. We're going to have to get used to calling that out.
Yeah, Byron, champion of the series, Trey Edson, has now moved to 7. He was in the 5 car last year. It's great to have Chris Gaboo back. He's in the 5.
Sorry, that was Central Go.
I think that's the number he ran quite a bit. Mike Montesi, who you may have seen win his races in the Winter Trans-Service Blizzard Cup Series, has moved to the 6 car. So, yeah, quite a few changes is coming up. New paint schemes. Love the family 811 call before you dig family.
All right, guys, the first 12 cars.
Tommy
Ryan, Jose Medina, Tyler Hunter, John Don Fowler, Doug Sigmund, Paul Crumry, Randall Watkins, Chris Gaboo, Trey Edson, Kevin DeBrown, Brian Macklin, Thomas O'Leary. Please line up in that order.
Chatting with him a moment ago. One of the things I thought was cool about the Dirt Series is they alternate between the 358 modifieds, which are close to our heart up here in New Jersey, and the Pro late models. And man, I'll tell you, there's nothing like turning right to go left. And what a blast it is to run that. And we love our asphalt racing or NASCAR racing or whatever, but there's nothing like slinging dirt at some of these dirt tracks in the sim.
Well, it's something I have really not done in my real career. I've ran on quite a bit of dirt. That's kind of where I started, but I did actually reach out and try to get my C license, and I did accomplish that. It was fun. I wish everybody in the league had that experience. If you're a low-level driver, it's a great thing to do to kind of get your awareness up and the things that you
all right, anyone who's not qualifying, shut your engine off.
We're ready to kick this thing off, Kevin. It
is usually the I button.
811 call before you dig pole night to get fired up, and there's our first qualifier. We talked to him a while ago. He thinks he's got something, put a lot of practice, and I'm ready to get this thing going.
Yeah, so as you see, they're going to pull up to this line here. They'll wait for the administrator to give them the call.
Someone's engine's running.
You'll see these drivers come up through the gears. One unique thing about this car, 5 gears in the car, and you can do direct shifting in it with paddle shifters and such. And Robert's going to be the first one to take to the racetrack here tonight. One of the things we'll talk about, Joey, as they go out and run this is there's so many different strategies in the get up to speed lap, the lap until you get to the start-finish line to start scoring. Sometimes it's referred to as the out lap. I'm curious to see the different techniques that the drivers use to get up to speed, and then whether they run that first lap on the high side as a throwaway lap, or whether they're trying to dig and get a good time. The dynamic
I might have to sit in my box and then pull up to the line or whatever, because I'm
fascinating, especially for you
here.
because we're going to be running some races here in the early season, and we get to watch some of the best in the business get the job done here tonight.
Yeah, Kevin, and then you talk about
Robert, go ahead and run your lap.
Lines that they're going to run and how to get up to speed. We had a practice session last night. It was a lot of different.
Robert, go ahead and run your lap.
Guys would run the apron coming out, then shoot out on the racetrack before they got into turn 1. Of course, here in this session, you're able to go straight out on the racetrack. Your black flag will be cleared, so you can go that way. But I did see. And I think we're going to see tonight, lap 1 is your money lap. Lap 2 is not even going to be close to what you pull on the first lap. So these guys who haven't practiced, haven't paid attention,
got the cute.
And they go for that second lap, the traditional run the top of the track, think you're building up more speed. At the end of qualifying, you're going to be way back to back if you didn't put that focus in lap number 1.
So just some final instructions, and we hear the tower giving the call to Robert to go ahead and hammer down. So you can see is coming up through the gears here and heading out to the racetrack. He immediately jumps up to the racing surface. Some of these drivers believe you need to run right against the wall, like physically almost scraping it. But we know, Joey, you don't want to touch the wall during qualifying. It's going to cause a problem in the sim.
Yeah, absolutely. That and in your time, if you make any contact or have any.
All right, guys, don't back up anymore. Just stop there. Just
from the
chill out.
Missing a shift, your night's over with.
Shut your engines off.
Trying to win the pole tonight.
So down the backstretch for the first time. We're live here at Daytona for Daytona qualifying for the Sim500. Call 811 before you dig, and it's Robert Friery. First out on the racetrack. He comes through turns 3 and 4 smooth. That's going to be super key to putting down a good lap. Sweeps up here in the front straightaway, crosses the line, and now he's on the time. When you see him come across that first lap, you'll see his current lap time tick in and lock. And then you'll be able to watch the feature that says gap to pole, whether he's tracking faster or slower than his original lap or whatever the pole is. So here he comes to the back straightaway, and will watch the line right down dead center through the middle of the straightaway here on the backstretch.
Yeah, it's all about being smooth off of turn 2, Kevin, getting that launch down the back straightaway. We'll see what the 77 does, getting it down to the bottom.
We supposed to shut our cars off sitting down here?
Right now, that throwback looking Rusty Wallace machine.
I'm going through right now and checking cars. If you're still running, we're gonna talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, I told him you're guaranteed to have the fastest time at some point. You can drop down here to the apron and cross the line.
Turn that shit off.
50.511 is the
Trey, shut your motor off
for the night. Now he will run one more and see if he can best that on lap number 2.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd see another car get on the racetrack here and get up to speed to see what race steward Bobby Wetzel does. The 70 car of, it looks like it's Tyler.
Doesn't everybody have to start from the line, too?
Tyler's up here. Tyler Hunter is up. Go out here.
Okay, guys, there is.
Second car on track and yet to fire up.
There's 2 lines. As long as you're starting in between those 2 lines, you are in the clear. So next,
where's the broadcast at?
His second lap of 56.07.
We have 0 cars on track right now. What's going on? Stop there, and then we will send you.
Roll around here, come off the racing surface.
Yeah, Tyler Hunter, stop between the 2 white lines in the pit road.
Sit and watch.
And you're good to go.
Everybody else says the way the procedure is going to work as we get things kind of sorted out is as the first
caller, don't turn your car on, shut it off.
Administrators will call.
We will tell you when to move
and release them. So as the second lap is being completed by the car on speed, the other one will be on their get up to speed lap. So we see Tyler Hunter just sitting there, car number 70, just getting some final instructions, and as the drivers listen to what's
Tyler
going
Hunter,
on
pull back up to the start and do it again.
Get just a little smoother as
okay, sorry,
he's going to pull up to that.
Somebody said that
line with the cone,
pull up in between the 2 lines and we're good to go. So
everybody started from the same place that the motor was turned off, and then the car comes up and you can exit right onto the racetrack, as Joe had said before.
Yeah, and again, this is something very new to the drivers. The procedure, if they weren't here for the practice session or haven't been in the league for or back when we used to do these kind of qualifying procedures, it is new to them. So
okay, you're clear to go. Do not burn out.
Hunter just went out a little premature right there before the race steward let him out. So Bobby Wetzel is not going to let anybody get away with anything. He is on it. So it also. All
right, guys. If you do a burnout, the system will yank you. It will. So this is your only warning about that.
Off pit road. If you do, you get one chance, and then you're thrown back to the end of pit road to get one last try. So it is in the effort to try to keep qualifying as fair as possible. So burning the tires is definitely not allowed.
Yeah, and how does that benefit a driver if they spin those tires on launch?
Well, every little bit helps. I mean, there's all kind of little things that you can do to gain speed. So get a little heat in your tires definitely will help you do that.
Okay, so Tyler is now restarted. Going to go and see if he can chase down this pole in that Valvoline Chevrolet. Right there, a lot of times you'll see these drivers come through turns 1 and 2.
Tyler, start your car, pull up between those 2 lines.
Shadow from the wall. That's their benchmark. Some drivers believe when you come down the back straightaway here that if you're out against the wall, the air coming off the nose pushes against the wall and then comes back and slows the side of the car. So certain drivers believe that you can move down away from the fence and run a little bit of a faster lap. But almost universally, Joey, everybody likes to run that high line for that first lap to get as much speed in the car as they can before they get back here to start finish.
Absolutely. It's about lining that motor up and shift points and all those wonderful things. Again, it's
pull up to the line, do it again.
Little thing counts here today. And you'll see Tyler Hunter drop to the bottom of the racetrack. He obviously knows that lap 1 is the money lap. He'll run through 1 and 2.
Is anybody going to answer me? Why did I get DQ'd?
Of the yellow line if you want to be. About half a car length there. So probably
hurry up and pull up to the line.
Up a little bit. Maybe you can gain something on the second lap. They lose us here on the first.
So here down the back straightaway again, running right down the middle like we saw for the first driver, Robert Friery, and still up high here on turn in. What's really key for a lot of drivers, they'll tell you, is not to turn the steering wheel
Doug,
down
please
there.
pull off that
Every time
line.
you turn the steering wheel, you're creating friction with that right front tire, rubbing some speed off, and he's going to come across here and score lap number 1 at a 56.44, and you can see he's 1300ths off.
John going in front of me, Tyler. Yes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that's just the line, Kevin.
John, just stop. You're too far ahead now.
That white line down there to get the maximum speed and get through the corners as smooth as possible. Just traveling that much more than you really
need to be sending the next car out after they pick the white flag.
Off into turn 3.
Mike, we know we're just having issues right now with the difficulty with the severe qualifying scrutiny.
He's going to be one of those drivers that has to qualify his way in to the big race. He'll obviously be working on his best starting spot for the duels, but that will be his way in, is to race his way in next Monday.
What are we doing here? He
disappeared.
disappeared.
50.511, and he's going to have a 56.
Bobby, it would help if you got off all teams.
That's going to be a little slower than his first lap. He's going to come off the racing surface, and we should see John Fowler coming out for his attempt.
Hold on.
So we see John Fowler up
go ahead and go down.
They're just giving him some final instructions, and they're taking the opportunity with these first couple drivers, Joey, to
go ahead and go,
coach
Doug.
everybody as to what's going on. They can communicate to all drivers in here, and they're just trying to make sure, again, it might take a little bit to get things organized and ensure that everybody launches and follows the instructions, but right now you see the Fowler number 48 sitting in his pit box.
Yeah, we're kind of figured out.
Yeah, I think they're having issues with the qualifying scrutiny that they have in iRacing.
Maybe behind because he pulled out about 10 seconds before he.
But they're going to work through it. Unfortunately, it's kind of, like you said, just kind of working through the bugs right now. Something that we probably didn't plan for, but with the built-in anti-cheat programs that iRacing has, that's kind of, I think, what they're fighting right now.
Yeah, so they can adjust on the fly, and if they have to have everybody leave from the pit box, then they'll do that. What's unusual is we called all 11 drivers out there, and they're sitting on pit road just kind of waiting.
Paul, go ahead and pull up to the 2 double lines.
And Doug Sigmund is going to leapfrog. The 04 Chevrolet is going to come out, and he's on his get up to speed lap here. Is Doug, veteran of the series, Joe, he's been around. He runs almost any kind of car you guys have, and just a nice guy nice guy to hang around. A lot of fun racing with Doug.
Yeah, if you make Doug mad, you've really messed up. Kevin, I'm going to jump down real fast in the scoring tower, see if I can get some updates on kind of some of the issues that are going on here. We'll be right back and kind of update our crowd on what we're up against.
Yeah, that works, Joey. He's going to wear a dual hat here, and Doug Sigmund out of turn number 2.
Okay, Paul, when I tell you,
we'll see if we can check that speed at the line and determine where he lands as he's a lot.
All right, everyone, just return back to your pit boxes. We're having an issue with the severe scrutiny, so unless you're Paul or you're on track, return to your pit box, and we'll call you out one by one.
Don't scrub off any speed. Typically, they'll be right down there on the yellow line, but it's a little bumpy down there, so some drivers like to be up a little bit. Doug Sigmund was up a half a lane. Now he comes across the stripe, and it's going to be a 50.534 for Doug on his first lap. He's going to run lap number 2.
Well, Kevin, just back up from the trailer, and what the issue is the qualifying scrutiny, how it's affecting the cars. It's black flagging the drivers on pit road who are
Randall Watkins pull up to the double lines.
So that's what we're fixing to make an adjustment. We'll have all drivers come out of their pit boxes, call them out one at a time. That direction will make their stop. They'll go out on the racetrack. So that should get things moving pretty good. Just an unseen situation, something we've never had to deal with. I think back when we did this, there wasn't a qualifying scrutiny.
Pull up closer.
Yeah, and of course, we all want to do what we can to prevent cheating in the sim. It's unfortunate that it has to be handled, but, got to follow the rules. And it's Paul Crumry in the Zero Sugar Dr. Pepper Chevrolet out there right now. He's on his get up to speed lap.
Chris Gaboo, pull up to the double line.
He's got a sharp looking car there, black with the Dr. Pepper maroon. What a neat color combination.
Yeah, this guy Paul, he knows how to run a super speedway. Recent winner at Sim500 on the super speedways. I think he's won quite a few races actually. Was Wednesday night at Cheru Diecast Xfinity Series event. He just won here recently. So yeah, if you're behind that car, you're looking good as far as going toward the front.
Yeah, and that's an interesting dynamic you talk about, Joe. Here, it's all about the driver and the car, just wide open, try and pick the best line. But next week, when we get into the duels, you are going to race, and a little bit of a teammate thing comes in, a little bit of your draft knowledge and so on. We see Paul a little closer to that yellow line through 3 and 4, lets the car sweep up so he doesn't scrub off any speed. Now he's going to turn down the banking. He might even touch the grass as he goes across the stripe, and it's a 50.508 locked in. And I think that's going to give him the provisional pole right now.
Yeah, I was going to say that. He would be a favorite. And man, they are admins. You know, that's one thing.
Well, yeah,
just
you
like
turn your engine off, please.
Problems. And the guys here, Bobby, Tyler, our admin team, always find ways to get things moving. And we're back off and running pretty good here. So, but yeah, no surprise. I would have put my money on Paul being one of those guys that's going to be fighting.
Trey, go ahead and pull up behind the Chris.
Come next week. He is definitely going to be one of my favorites when it comes to one of the guys to lock himself into the duels.
Hey, Randall Watkins.
Go ahead and go, Chris.
We talked to him just a bit earlier. He's optimistic about trying to get himself into this show here.
You talk about one of the good guys. This is him right here in the 27 car. We're so glad to have him back. He dealt with just cancer, and you know, we all know it. We all have had family members face it. Cancer sucks for sure, and we're just so glad that I mean, this guy's a testament to being tough, and he's back out here racing with us. Across the line, where's he? Third quick.
50.524. And the question is, will these guys run 2 laps or not? We saw some of them. For example, Doug Sigmund opted not to run that second lap.
Kevin, go pull up behind Trey.
Lap, but I don't know, Joey. I'd still run the thing just for giggles.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, that's really all it'd be is giggles, because right now this first lap is the money lap, and you know, if you don't hit it on the first lap, the second lap it's just going to be something where you may practice your line or just get a little more time in the race car. You see J. Randall Watkins coming off the racetrack right now. Oh, and actually, no, he's just going to come down through the apron, which we do allow here to complete a second lap.
643, about 1/100th of a second slower, and he'll finish and take that car to the house. Now we've got the.
When your lap is over, please pull over and stop on the
racetrack.
On the back stretch and exit there.
Runs last year, and I expect a lot out of Chris this year if he can find that consistency.
Well, we actually are welcoming Chris back to Sim500. Chris has been gone for a little while, but he's a driver that has got numerous starts here in the league. Trying to look back through the record books right now, but he was within the top 50 of starts here at the league. Has been an admin, so actually he's 8th right now all time with 583 starts at Sim500. So it's great to have Gaboo back in the 5 car here, as he's also going to be one of these guys that's got to race his way in, but he is a super speedway ace. Chris Gaboo is.
And I just remember he wasn't prevalent in his starts, but when he did show up, he was competitive, and here he comes to complete lap number 1. We'll see what the ticker is going to give him. Looks like a good lap so far. 54.98. That's going to bump him to the top spot.
That's a great lap by Chris, and that's not surprising. I mean, this is what he does. He's a super speedway ace, and Chris, not only just here, he's a great race car driver, so that's not a surprise.
The top spot right now for Chris, he's on the top of the podium. Paul Cumry is in second. Robert Friery is in third. Jane Randall Watkins, and Doug Sigmund, Tyler Hunter of those drivers. The 6 drivers that have taken time, that's where we stand. Is Edson, he is going to run his second lap.
Kevin,
here.
go.
And we'll just see, you know, curious, they've all slowed down, but I wonder if he has speed in that second lap also.
Well, this is actually the first lap here in the 7.
This is the 7, yep, sorry, looked away.
And he is our, as far as champions, he was a 2020 Trans-Service Cup champion. He's been a champion in the Wednesday Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Series back-to-back years. So this guy is the one.
Go ahead and go, Brian.
Here comes Trey Essen. Let's see what he can pull here.
Thomas, pull up to the line.
55.16, no, 54.99 is what I saw there. It's 1/1000th of a second off that pole.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy tonight. I mean, this car, we're going to find that all year long, Kevin. When I made the comment, the great equalizer, that's what this car is going to be. And you're going to see lap times. I mean, we are going to have to race our way in, qualify our way in once we leave Daytona. It's not just this weekend. So you're going to have to really bring your A game every week, but the times are going to be so close. Kevin Brown, the racetrack right now. Kevin Brown, he was a contender last year. He's going to be a contender this year. One of the most aggressive drivers we have at Sim500. Down the back straightaway right now. Is this his get up to speed lap, it looks like? It is.
Yeah, and what do you say about Kevin? He's a polarizing figure. I mean, he's always right up front. He's running on the ragged edge. He's just, you know, super fast just about everywhere we go. And if he could find some consistency and knock out those poor races, I'm telling you what, this guy is, as you just said, a contender for a championship in 2022.
Well, that's what they've got to do as a race car driver. You know, he's proven he can get up there and race with the Falkinghams, the Edsons, and guys, the Colemans. But, you know, what he's got to do is he's got to figure out how to finish races. Being aggressive is what gets you there, but you've also got to find an equal balance to that, and that's to finish these events. That's the Achilles heel. That's what can keep him from being a champion. But Kevin's going to be one of the favorites coming in this year. It looks like he's going to go for the 2 laps here as he's thrown lap 1 away to the top of the racetrack. So we'll see. He could be the first guy to make lap 2 work.
Totally different strategy for Kevin Brown. He's going to come across lap 1. We'll see where his speed's going to sit. It's going to be slow, 51.061, but he ran that out lap to the outside, and it almost looks like he's eased off here. Yep, he's turned it down, and he's got the wick still lit. That's an interesting run. He's the first one, to your point, Joe, that ran that first lap as a throwaway lap. Now we'll see whether or not this strategy is going to work. And we said on the outset, there's a lot of different ways to get the job done. Some of them are better than others. And, well, we're going to find out if this method's going to work here with this new car.
Well, and as we've got practice or qualifying moving now, 2 race cars on the racetrack. Brian Macklin's actually through 1 and 2 right now.
Okay, Thomas, pull off and go.
Toyota Camry, he's down the back straightaway on his first lap, so we'll see what happens with him in relation. He is going for it here on lap 1, unlike what Kevin Brown's got.
Macklin running.
Okay, 48, go up to the line and stop.
You look at where did Kevin Brown end up? A 0.524. That's not a bad lap. Same lap as Randall Watkins, actually. The 2 of them are tie, and he made that second lap work. I didn't know if that time was going to show up, but he's right in the middle of the mix there.
Yeah, this is the car that we want to see right here. It's Brian
Pull
Macklin.
up between the 2 lines. 48.
I'd say one of your top-tier drivers here at Sim500. A lot of wins, a lot of
You're good there.
championships. Well, he's done. Lap 1.
Yeah, Brian was in the hunt last year for the championship right to the end.
Yeah, that championship race was something, and it kind of got us thinking, you know, these guys, everybody works so hard all year long, and to come down in one race like it did, it's tough. So we've actually adjusted.
Okay, 48, you're cleared for your lap
this year for the 811 call before you did Cup Series. 20 drivers, top 20 make the playoffs, and it's a 5-race playoff. After the 5 races, the top 10 will advance to the final round of 5 races, and then we'll determine our champion over 5 races. So it's a model of consistency with still a little bit of playoff action. We think we can take a little bit of what NASCAR is bringing, bring back some of the old stuff that we all loved, and also to the racing. You know, again, one race for all the marbles, man, nobody really is into all that. So we think, like I said, consistency, that's what should win races or championships.
Yeah, I could tell you that I love everything about Sim500, but I'm going to tell you, Joey, that I love that about Sim500. I really think, this is no disrespect to Josh Parker and his victory last year, but you look at how good Falkingham ran, you look how good Kevin King ran, and it seemed almost peculiar to give Parker that championship on a one-race deal, but everybody had the same cards going in, so congratulations to Josh Parker on that. He is a true champion, but I like that change for this season.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good thing for everybody. And speaking of Thomas O'Leary, I've got to give a shout-out to him. You see he's got his VA811.com. Looks like he's at a Toyota, maybe. Oh, he's in a Chevrolet. Hope we don't hurt me for that one, but it's good to have Thomas back. He's been gone for a year, making his return back to Sim500 after just getting a break. He's a real race car driver. He's done some ARCA races, local short track guy, late models, modified, you name it, he'll jump in it and go. Glad to have Thomas O'Leary back here racing Sim500.
And earlier we had that rearrangement that had to take place while they figured out where the problems were for the black flags for the drivers, and we jumped over John Fowler. So John now is going to slot into the order. He was originally scheduled 4th, and I believe he's going to be about the 12th or 13th car to take time at this point. Fowler low, down on the yellow line. Interesting that we've only seen one driver take that high line strategy in Kevin DeBrown.
Yeah, John Fowler, he stayed on the bottom. We'll see if he'll make his second lap, but where is he going to line up on the board here? Just about mid-pack right now. This should end.
All right, second group.
So we
need Ryan Howard, Scott Stenzel, Mike Montesi, Michael Priester, Dwight Beverly, Scott Simley, Mike Kelly, Bob Gillenwater, Brian Cook, Chad Coleman, and Shannon Wood. Ryan Howard, go to the double lines.
I was just checking my notes before I said it, but a 50.494 makes him the fastest to go so far. So if Fowler is able to jump that, then maybe he can pull that pole. We'll see where
you're clear on your run, Howard.
Comes across the stripe, and it's a 5.51 for Fowler. So, well, then Thomas.
Go ahead and go, Howard.
The man right now.
And he told me he had to download everything and do updates. I think he's lying. I think he's been racing the whole time. I don't know how many laps.
Remember, guys, to shut your motors off.
That just is a testament to his ability to be gone as long as he has, to jump back in the sim and to be that quick against guys that race all week long. So that's right now. Shout out to Thomas O'Leary, that number 8 VA811.
Scott Stenzel, go ahead and pull up to the double line.
I almost called it the Toyota again. The Camaro.
Scott Stenzel, pull up to the double line.
I'm not good at qualifying, and I can't announce either. I don't know.
I think you just have to give yourself a little pass on this first one as we get ourselves warmed up for the season here.
Okay. Ryan Howard. Now, this is a guy right here that is first class individual. He's extremely quick. He's going to be a contender week in, week out. It's his first time joining the Monday night
you're clear.
Call Before You Dig series. He is
Mike Montesi.
He is going
pull up to the double line.
Week out.
Yeah, so Ryan on his get up to speed lap here as he comes off of turn number 4. He'll turn up the wick and turn down to the start finish line, begin lap number 1. 120, 121 has been the common run here. On that first one, it would be interesting to know how fast everybody runs their get up to speed lap and how that impacts things, but he is, again, right down on that bottom line. I noticed, Joe, that you have the option of actually putting the wheels on the yellow line. And you go back to what Dale Earnhardt Jr. said one time about qualifying. he thought it would be a great idea coming off turn 2 to let the car roll up and then come back down. He got yelled at by his father saying, you always stay on the shortest path no matter what. But yet here
Go ahead and go, Mike.
The sim, we see drivers sweep up and let the car roll up. It's always fascinated me why the fastest lap is not physically right down on the bottom.
No one should be moving. Return to your pits if you are moving in the pit road.
Car too, you get to feel the car. You get to feel where it wants to go. Here, you don't get that in a sim car, so it's a little different. With the direct drive wheels we spoke about in the past, they kind of emulate what your rear end would feel as
Michael
a real racer,
Priester,
in a real
move up
race
to the
car.
double lines.
So, they're trying to make the best of it, but that's a great lap by Ryan Howard going to take a look at. He's outside right now in the front post.
Michael Priester.
Yeah, 3/1000ths of a second is the difference between him and the top of the podium. Still, Thomas O'Leary the fourth, sitting up on top with Ryan
Dwight Beverly
Howard,
here.
Chris Givu, Trey Edson, and Paul Cumry as your
Move up to the double line.
Now it's Scott Stenzel in the number 42, searching for a sponsor. That car unmarked as he rolls through turn 3 and 4. Is he not the personal comfort guy?
Well, we have to give a shout out to Trey Edson. I think Trey's painting the entire league's car, so he's kind of behind. And actually, Trey didn't plan on racing this season, but here he is with personal comfort sponsorship. And yes, that came from Scott Stenzel. Scott Stenzel, actually, for those who don't know, former NASCAR capable truck series driver. I think he's got a
Scott Stenzel lineup behind him
at Daytona not too many years ago, so he knows how to get it done on the real deal. So he's got this sim stuff under control as well.
And you can see he's 2 100ths and change underneath the pole, and he's going to call it quits on lap number 1, and that'll turn the racetrack over to Mike Montesi in the number 6. And we started calling him Monday Mike, Joey, because he just found something in this race car.
Yeah, Mike is a
Clear to go,
friend of
Dwight.
mine, and got to know him over the years. And man, what he's put into the sport or into
Scott, go ahead and pull up
racing,
to those
he's
double
been
lines.
a long time racer. We always say probably longer than we want anybody to know.
Scott,
That's
sorry, I
definitely
meant.
him. He's really old. But
Mike Kelly, go up and
he's
pull up
here.
behind Scott
He's
Simley.
a back-to-back winner in this car. I know he loves it. He's excited about this year, and that excites me to know he's ready to race, and he has a chance to win this year.
54.94. Where's that going to put him? That's got to be right up at the top of the stack. That's a pretty good run.
And if you're listening to Montesi, I'm sorry, you're not old.
A veteran. He's a veteran. You know, one of the things about Mike is he's one of the nicest guys ever. Just, always calm demeanor, great to talk to, helpful when you run into sim and you want to know a line or something like that. He's always very collaborative and just a good guy to be around.
He is. And everybody at Sim500, I feel like, is that. And this is my snowball derby
Go ahead and
buddy
go, Scott.
here, DJ Beverly. He's kind of been back and forth with his
Like
career
both
over the
those two
last few
lines.
years of racing, but he's back full-fledged this year in the VA811.com Camaro. He's racing out of the
Bob Gillenwater, pull up behind
there
Mike.
I go again. Unacceptable motorsports.
There you go.
Yeah, just give me a minute.
So I'm curious, we look at the standings. Mike Montesi, he locked in the same time, if I'm not wrong, with Thomas O'Leary, which means we have a tie right now for the provisional pole. We'll have to confirm that, but, DJ, again, one of those guys that's been around a long time. I feel kind of bad, Joey, because at one point I flat ran him over. I think it was at, let me think which track that was. And so he's got a free pass from me. Whenever I race near DJ and he gets in the rearview mirror, just kind of pull it a little bit to the right and let him go by.
I'm off.
Well, if you ask him, I think he owes a lot of people. So,
Stop the car. No one ever do that again.
But, that's the thing. I said, you got to shake it off, DJ, and come back tomorrow. It's a new day. But here he is. And, man, that's a great-looking race car. And speaking of Trey Edson, he painted those cars up. You'll see, I think, 4 or 5 of them very similar. So that is a good lap there. This whole team, the unacceptable team, is going to be contenders. And O'Leary is an unacceptable driver. You're going to see these guys contend for the oh, wow. Yeah. I was watching DJ have trouble down in turn 1. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, he's going to be that team is going to be a contender for the front row. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a V811.com. We're going to have an 811.com or 811 NC811 car on the pole. We got to, right? Somehow.
Go ahead and go, Mike.
Yeah, it's kind of looking like it's a strong possibility here. Simply, is he not teamed up with Mike Kelly? The two of them seem to be wanting Jeff.
Both the lines there, Bob.
Yeah. Turn 1 Heroes. This is the first of their cars. Actually, I think the 77 Nelson Rivera.
Brian Cook pull up behind Bob Gillenwater.
22 and Nelson Rivera. Those 4 guys will be working together a good bit this year.
Yeah, I would consider Scott as like a stealthy driver. He's not very flashy, but he can get the job done. And he's always a consistent top 10 driver. And when he gets it light up, he's a shot for a win on any given night.
Yeah, he is. And again, working with Mike Kelly, Mike is, he's, again, top-tier driver. We've got a lot of those guys here at Sim500.
Chad Coleman, go ahead and pull up behind Bob.
They're hard to race. They've been doing this a long time. So, yeah, to be under that instruction and to learn as much as he has, that's definitely will make you a good race car driver.
And by my sheet, Mike Kelly's actually going to follow Scott in this run here, as he's going to take to the track. If you
You're
look
clear,
at
Bob.
the way it occurs, Mike Kelly, Bob Gillenwater, Brian Cook, Chad Coleman, Shannon Wood, they're on deck.
Both of the box there, Chad, between the two lines.
Simley comes across. He's going to complete lap number 252.
Chad?
No, 625. Let's make sure that catches up. And a pretty good run. Here's Mike Kelly. We just talked about him. Talk about a veteran. I think when I first started, this
Shannon Wood, pull up behind Chad Coleman.
A long time ago.
Yeah, Mike's been around. He's been a series admin here. He's I know he's way up there in the top 5 and he starts at Sim500. So Mike is definitely one of those guys. He's locked in next week, so he's just got a comfortable drive right now. His number 2 machine. He's also got the 811 dig on the back of that race car. As we watch Kelly down the back straightaway, I've got Thomas O'Leary, our provisional pole sitter, if we want to give him a quick chat, Kevin.
I think that's a great idea. It's, Kelly's working lap number 1. Let's take a moment. Thomas, right now, man, you got the target on your back. Good time here so far at Daytona.
I'm done.
Thank you. Yeah, just a little surprise on this time.
Chad Coleman, go ahead and go.
I was thought it was
Shannon,
a little
pull up
slow,
the box.
but apparently the track changed a little bit.
Well, just as you come in the booth, you're no longer on the pole. Mike Kelly now jumps to the front. But no, great lap, Thomas. I was talking about you making your return back to Sim500 after a little time away and just come out and put a lap down, man. Just great job. And hate that we brought you up and you get knocked off, man. We need to stop doing that.
That's all right.
Yeah, still sitting there in second. And Thomas, I always wanted to ask you this question. 08, does it have any reference or is it just a number picked at random?
Actually, my number that I've always used in real life racing is 8, but Randy, my teammate's got number 8, so I just put a 0 in front of it.
Mr. Yoakum, got it. Okay. Well, I just always wondered that. And, well, still sitting second, so let's see if we can cross your fingers and keep you in there. Good time tonight, and we'll let you get back to it as we'll go to Bob Gillenwater, who's out on the racetrack right now.
Yeah, Bob Gillenwater, a team of the Sim500 Mafia, one of my good buddies. I know he put a little bit of time in last night on the practice chart, was looking pretty good. Felt pretty good about tonight's run. And yeah, there he goes, Bob, now to the outside of the front row.
Shannon, go.
About that lap, and you know, you got to go back and just take a moment for Mike Kelly at 481. That's a full 10th faster than everybody else. It's hard to believe that these guys who run within a skosh of each other can find that much speed.
Yeah, and you wonder, you know, I've tried everything, Kevin. I've spent a bunch of money. I've tied my shoes different. I've bought different shoes, shifter, steering wheel. It's kind of like golf. You know, if you hit a driver straight, you got to keep buying drivers. There's no more sim equipment I can buy. I just got to come to the realization I can't do it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Joe. I do.
Next set of cars, Tony Benefield, Eric Arnold, Jeff Hollingsworth, James Sumkett, Gerald Livingston, Jacob Kaplan, Anthony Calantoni, Ron Hollefeld, and Mark Crichton. Stay in your pits. Do not move out of your pits.
483 for
Tony, go ahead and pull up to the line.
Thousands short of the pole.
Everyone make sure your engine is off on pit road. We will be going back and checking this.
That's what
Don't want to get your time taken away because your engine was running.
You shake your head when you see that. You go, where did I live it at? And you know every single driver when they pull off. You know they're like over in turn 3. That's where I gave it up or whatever it is. No gust of wind tonight though. That kind of thing.
Yep, this should end Group 2, and we have our buddy here, Shannon Wood. This is Shannon's first go at the Monday Night Series. He did run the Trans-Service Blizzard Cup Series. Has had some great results through that. Be interested to see what our buddy here can put on the pole. Shannon,
once you're up in the box, you can start your motor.
For over 15 years.
Go ahead and go, Stoney.
I worked with Shannon back in the NASCAR 03 days, the video game by Papyrus.
Eric Arnold, move up to the box.
He gave the league to me to run for him, and he retired for 15 years. It took me 15 years to get him to go out and spend a bunch of money and come back sim racing. So to his wife, I'm sorry. But welcome back, Shannon.
You got to apologize to my wife because you did that to me too. I've been out for just about that long and came back last year about this time as he comes across the stripe. We'll see where he lands. A 496 for Shannon Wood, a respectable lap.
That's a great lap.
Could have put him right back in the middle there.
I can leave it running right.
That's a great lap for Shannon.
Yeah, once you're in the box, you can leave it running. We'll send you here in a second.
And now the drivers start to look across the board. They all look over the podium to see where they land. And some of those guys down on the bottom wish they probably could have found a little more speed. And they're starting to get a little worried about where this goes. We'll see, how this is going to set up. But if they're on that lower end of the tail, they also know that they're going to have the duels to fall back on. As Stoney Benfield in the 75
clear
track. Stoney new to Sim500, yes, Joey, this year?
Yeah, Stoney is new to Sim500. He's a big
Jeff Hollingsworth to the line.
NC811 connection. Actually, Stoney was racing a lot on Friday nights. I reached out to some of the guys, and he was one of them. I said, hey, man, will you come check out some other series we have? Take another sample of Sim500, and man, he's become a great friend. He's a pastor, so I've actually asked him to say some words prior to our events this year in the hopes that our guys will listen and they'll behave during the races. But yeah, it's great to have Stoney. He's got a beautiful Ford out there, the NC811 Ford. He is going to have to race his way in this weekend, so this lap very important for that 75 machine.
Yeah, and as we see him roll off, he's a little lower than everybody else has been. Most drivers have been middle to top going down that back straightaway. Maybe you heard what I said earlier. As we know, some of the drivers tuned into the broadcast turned the car down to the white line. Actually, he just kind of rolled right there, still about a tire width up from that line. I'm surprised more drivers don't hug that bottom. Now, the racetrack is a little flat.
Go ahead and go, Jeff.
Turn 4 kind of flattens out. You know what I mean, Joey, with the line. And then it curves, and then it flattens out again. Up high here coming to the line, a 5.89 for Benfield on his first lap.
Yeah, he'll race good. And that's the thing. I mean, qualifying tonight, it's going to look like he'll be toward the back of one of the duels. That's the thing. It's the safest place to be. These duels are going to be crazy come next week as we
James,
talk
go
about
up to the line.
and the different things going on. So, yeah, I think Stoney's going to be in a great position no matter where he winds up during the second lap.
Yeah, and one of the things we know is that the drivers
James,
will come
let's
back later because they're going to be here for years and watch
Gerald
this
Livingston, go up to the
line that everybody took, and maybe Stoney will discern that he lost time here, there, wherever. I'm not going to make any guesses to that. He could have been down on the apron like he is right now. On their first lap, he was up on the racetrack, and you just don't know. But eventually you go back, and I know these drivers will analyze the fastest laps to see where they gave things up perception-wise. They're not always clear on that as
Gerald
Eric Arnold takes the racetrack.
Yeah, to the line here, completing his first lap. Where'd that put Eric?
Jacob Kaplan. Go up to the line.
And I think he's back there in the 15, 16 spot. But Eric actually has to race his way in. Eric goes back a long ways to Sim500 in some previous leagues that we had. He's a veteran of the military. Great guy. I know his schedule kind of gets him where he misses a bunch of events during the year, but he is, when you talk about aggressive, he's that guy. He's fast. If he was here week in, week out, he's a guy that you can look forward to battle for that championship.
And you get some of these drivers that they need to feel their way through the field. They need to know who races what. They'll determine whether they have somebody in the mirror and they're going to let them go. I will not say the name, but the guy's name was the last name, but the guy's name was Norm. And I remember in the day that whenever I saw Norm's Bud Light car behind me, I would pull up and Norm would go by, and then eventually,
go ahead and go, Jacob.
Norm would crash or come back to me. You learn who to race, right, Joe? And everybody's going to figure that out early in the season. As a
Anthony Calatoni, go ahead and pull up to the line.
Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's making another start here this year, and he's coming back to the Monday Night Series. He's locked in, so he's a top 30 driver. So that's something that Hollingsworth doesn't have a whole lot of pressure right now on him to make this race on speed. He is locked in and ready to race come 2 weeks from now. Kevin, we've grabbed Mike Kelly, our provisional pole sitter. Let you take a word with him real quick.
How about that speed, Mike? Were you anticipating a lap at that level? What's it going to take to win the pole here tonight? Is that going to do it?
I don't know. I think it's a pretty darn good lap. I don't know, though. I mean,
Ron, go back to your pit stall until I call you.
So. I'll just say I hope so, and I'm holding my breath. It's a good lap. I ran that 49 in practice. In the apron when I ran that.
Yeah, I'm done. I pulled off on the back.
I had a 48 in it, and that's exactly what I ran. So we all went 3 in a row there. Bam, bam, bam. I about got knocked off by the next cars, but it's looking good now.
Go ahead and go, Calatoni.
It's hard to back that up, isn't it? Sometimes you go out and you run that elusive lap, and then you find yourself trying to figure out what you did to get there, even if you watch the replay. But good for you in backing that up.
Okay, Ron, now go ahead and pull up to the line.
Yeah, it does. I tend to choke in qualifying a lot, but pat myself on the back here a little bit. Talladega and Daytona are 2 tracks where I've just ran so many laps here. I know where the fast line is, and if you can go out and
Ron, go ahead and pull up to the line now.
Usually get it, so I just went out and hit my marks, and there it was.
Yeah, I'd say you have run a good number of these qualifying sessions over the years. This is about 1,000th one for you, maybe?
Seems like it. Seems like I got about 1 million laps here at Daytona. But yeah, it's changed a little bit with this new car, how you approach it. But it's it's still the same line that gives you the best. It's a real precise line that gives you that sweet spot, that gives you the good lap. And even though the car's changed and doing it on the first lap and not running up against the wall and some different things, when it comes to the money lap, you still got to do the same thing. So I guess I still got it.
Go ahead and go, Ron.
Yeah, we'll just take a second to call out Gerald Livingston. He put it in the 19th spot with a 50.53.
Mark Crichton, pull up to the line.
Gerald's one of those drivers that has top 30 runs. We've got Jacob Kaplan right now with a decent run on the racetrack. Jacob, a newcomer, Joey, to the series here. And let's take a moment and let you talk to Mike Kelly here before we come back to the track action.
Yeah, Mike is a great.
Please pull off in the back there, Kaplan.
If this holds up, but what's going on with the race car? What are you feeling compared to the car last year to what you have this year? And any secrets you can give me? I go out here shortly.
Go fast, turn left, hold it wide open. That's about it.
It's horrible.
Be smooth. Don't move that steering wheel, buddy.
Going back to our driver on the racetrack, Jacob Kaplan, brand new to Sim500. It's actually his first event with Sim500 is tonight in qualifying. So glad to have him here. We've been talking over the last couple of days. It was really good to bring in someone like him. I think it's going to be a positive influence on the league and on the racetrack. That's something that we really strive for. Is, as Mike knows, just some solid racing with if you just have common sense and a little etiquette, you'll fit in right perfect here, won't you, Mike?
Yeah. And oh no, we want all the guys.
DJ or rower to the double line, not here.
Yeah, we don't have enough of them. Well, Mike,
no, you're exactly right. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a good field. I was just looking at the list of who's left to go, and it's going to be a nail-biter for sure. There's a lot of fast guys coming up.
All right, Mike. Well, we appreciate you, man, and we'll hopefully be talking to you here in a little bit with your car in victory lane grabbing this pole. But don't bite all your fingernails off in the meantime.
Yeah, I might have to walk away a little bit. Thanks, guys. Have fun with the rest of the broadcast. Hope to see you. Hope to talk to you soon.
Well, Kevin, that's Anthony Calantoni on the racetrack. Calantoni, I think this is actually his first go-around on the Monday Night Series.
Yeah.
He is going to be someone on the super speedways. I think Calantoni is going to definitely be a contender for the top 20 in points. Week in, week out, this guy is going to be strong. So I would look for him to be a big name. He is not locked in either, so he's going to have to race his way in. So that qualifying time is going to mean a lot to him. Mark Creighton making his return to sim racing altogether right now on the racetrack. He's been away for a little while. It's funny how life takes you out of it, but you come right back to it. Mark's a great painter, and a good driver. So, Mark, I don't know how many events he's got in the Monday Night Trans Service Cup Series. It used to be now the 811 Call Before You Dig Cup Series. But here he is back in that number 20. We'll see what he's got to bring to the table here in this qualifying effort.
Yeah, so Mark is on the track. We want to give a call to Ron Hoffield. Didn't get to show his lap time, but Ron, a 50.58 for his first lap, a 50.65 for a second. He's just completed that and rolls off here as they were both on the racetrack pretty close to each other. Creighton going to come down and finish his first lap. It's going to be a 56.06 for Creighton first lap. We'll see if he runs a second one, and a couple updates on drivers who have come through where they landed. We were talking a moment ago about
okay, next group: Joey Woods, Jeff Ryan, Joey Gattina, Nelson Riviera, Josh Parker, Jose Gonzalez, Elliot Henderson, Mark Jorgensen Jr., Brian Daly, Charles Woods, and Jimmy Coleman. I need Joey Woods to go up to the double lines.
For Daytona, Mike Kelly right now sits on the provisional pole with Chad Coleman, Bob Gillenwater, Thomas O'Leary IV, and Shannon Wood. Top 5 in times right now. Looks like it's going to be a 50.48 or lower, and we still have
You're clear, Doy.
Fast drivers.
Jeff Ryan, go up to the double lines.
As Mike Kelly was just telling us in the stack, and they're coming up pretty quickly.
Yeah, and that's talking about me. I'm actually 3 drivers away. So, Kevin, what I'm going to do, Bob Gillenwater right now to where Bob's sitting on the speed chart. Let's go back and look. Bob's right there. Third quick right now. I'm going to bring Bob in here, let you talk to him a little bit. I'm going to go get my driving suit on and go out here and make a lap and hopefully be on the pole.
Good luck, man. Go get him.
Talk to you shortly.
So we'll take a moment during the break of the action to welcome in Bob Gillenwater as Joey goes to zip up his driver's.
I'm out of the booth in the car.
Group is getting set up, and welcome in, Bob. Great job, third right now. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah, we were pretty happy. Thought we were going to be on the front row for maybe a few cars, and Chad took care of that. But the North Carolina 811 series, of course, Call Before You Dig. Appreciate them so much. Just the opportunity to get the message out for these sponsors and all these guys partners.
Jeff, you're clear.
The car felt really good. I don't think it changed really.
Jeff, you're clear.
Had any practice, but
Joey Gattina, pull up to the double lines.
1,000 quicker on the lap that counted, rather than practice. So, happy with it. We'll take it, Kevin.
Every time you come across that line, you think to yourself, I gave up something here. I could have done that differently. Maybe I should have approached it. How about it? Any regrets in your lap, or did you just hit every single mark that you were looking for?
No, man. I always find regrets. I'll bob it a little bit just coming out of the pits, coming up through the gears, going through turn 1, and one more little bobble coming off of 4. I mean, when you say a bobble, of course, you can't see it unless you're in the car, but when you stress the tires, just turn the wheel a little bit too much, so always room for improvement.
So take us through a lap and a couple of questions for you. We see a lot of these drivers. They get up to speed lap. They go out to the outside. They're running down the middle or high side on the backstretch. Turns 3 and 4. They're about 1 lane up. What's your take? Dissect the lap of qualifying for this and say, without giving away all your secrets, what are you thinking makes a fast lap here?
Well, for me, even from the beginning, lining up on pit road.
Nelson Riviera off the double line.
They're coming out, they're turning right and getting up in that outside lane, and I just really tried to straighten that out real gradually. Didn't make any swift turns, so maybe the car would build a little bit, of momentum. Down the back straight, through the corner, just kind of put my lefts on the hash marks, not all the way against the wall, but off of it a little bit. But down the back stretch, I was running way out there. just almost touching the wall. Saw some other guys that moved down, especially Tyler Dalton. We know how good he is here. So my hot lap there, I brought it off the wall some and kind of ran kind of the middle of that upper lane, instead of so far out.
You're clear, Nelson. Go ahead.
Got the same thing through 3 and 4, and then just timing it, coming down to kind of cut below that apron for, Mike said it.
Josh Parker, go ahead and pull up to the double line.
Thousandths of a second, and I think that adds a little bit. It's just, it's holding a pretty wheel here,
Yeah. Yep. So a 50.511 for Doy Woods. That's going to put him 12th right now in the provisional standings. Is on the clock. We see Jeff Ryan. He is 1/1000th away from the pole on his first lap. That's a spectacular lap for Jeff
between
Ryan.
the double lines there, Josh.
Oh wow, what a lap! Yeah, that's putting it down. Jeff is, gosh, man, he's one of those guys you just never know. Especially some of these bigger tracks. Jeff starts up front a lot of the times.
14 off track.
Amazing lap by him, and I'm looking, Tommy Ryan, we've got Falkingham, some of these other guys that's going to be really interesting. See how that goes.
And
Hope a little bit more there, Josh.
He's going to jump in there and strap on the helmet, and he is in his get up to speed lap. I'll tell you what, when you race with the Ryan boys, is sometimes they're just formidable. I know Tommy Ryan tends to hang back, and there was a moment not too long ago where they wrecked each other in an event, which was a comical.
Jose Gonzalez, the double lines, parking between them.
Yeah, what's Joey doing there? He just nosed the thing into the inside wall. Nelson Rivera in the 22 out, taking time right now as, Joey's come back to join us. What happened there, Joey? Take us through that.
Well, I'm pretty happy with it. 15th at the time, so I'm not really, wasn't looking for a ton out of the car right now, but the NC811 Ford was pretty strong right there, and 15th.
Yeah, 52, respectable. It puts you right in the middle of the stack, and that should make for an interesting start to the duels for you.
Yeah, we're
Elliot Henderson.
The pressure's really not.
Pull behind Jose.
It's a situation where you get to race all year long, and you earn this chance to make this race. So for me, we've been really
go ahead and go, Jose.
On the event and the promotion side of things. I think I got one run, so that's the best I've ran so far this year in the car. So I'm good with it.
Go ahead and pull up between those two double lines there, Elliot.
Whenever you can strap on that helmet and go in there and put in a decent time against the stout field that you guys have here at Sim500, that's a good day at the office, Joey.
Wow, and I just come back and look, and Jeff Ryan outside pole. Again, that's an unacceptable race car right there. So the number 3 right now, outside pole. That's great.
It's very acceptable. The team is unacceptable.
Yeah, and defending champion now, Josh Parker on the racetrack.
Yeah, the Interstate Batteries Camry number 81. He rolls off of turn number 2, and this is going to be one that everybody's going to watch this lap. For Mike Kelly, 1/1000th of a second kept him there as Jeff Ryan kept him honest, but we're going to see if Josh Parker's got anything to start the season with.
Hey, I see my teammate Bob Gillenwater still up here. Bob, what did I do wrong, man?
Yeah, I kind of missed that, man. I heard Kevin holler real quick, and I thought, uh-oh. I didn't know if you had problems, but hey, man, you're one of those guys ran so good last year. You're locked in the points. I don't think.
Go ahead and go, Elliot.
You're feeling too much pressure right now, right?
Well, let's just be honest, Bob. If it was up for qualifying, I would be not racing every weekend. So, no,
Mark Jorgensen, pull up to the double line.
The thing is, I'm glad the program's kind of gone off pretty good tonight. I got to thank, all our teammates there at the Sim500 Mafia working behind the scenes. Where'd Josh Parker?
Please park in between them.
Oh, he's on the pole.
Ding, ring the bell. We have a new provisional pole holder is a 466. Not only did he beat a 481, but he spanked it. What a great lap.
Wow.
I didn't know if I saw that one coming. I can't imagine how these guys found that much speed.
Hey, Kevin, here's another guy right here, Jose Gonzalez. He was fast last night in the warm-ups, the practice sessions. Don't be surprised if he doesn't have something in the back here in the 26 machine.
Yeah, Jose just somehow knows how to get around these racetracks, and he was the fastest in qualifying prior to rolling out car number one. And if you're going to study a lap of where to be on the racetrack, this would be a good one to watch. He comes off of turn 4, hugs that yellow line, actually down on the apron early.
Mark Jorgensen, go ahead and go.
Right along the grass there, smooth and flat, and it's a 481.
Brian Daly, pull up to the line.
Same exact time, is it not? As some of the other drivers, Mike Kelly. So that's a fascinating run for Jose Gonzalez. Very quick one for Jose.
Puts him outside. Paul, there's a car coming up, guys. We've got to watch. Is the 88. Mark Jorgensen, this guy is going to be
back up a little bit, Brian.
That is going to be a killer this year, I have a feeling. But right now on the track, Elliot Henderson. Elliot made the playoffs last year. No, he was just outside the playoffs. Had a great run going for the playoffs. I believe he had an issue last year that kind of knocked him out late in the season, but a great addition to Sim500, making the second season here with the league. So see what the 37 car has as he rockets down the back straightaway.
Yeah, for Elliott, I would consider last year a learning year. Every time he was in, he just steadily got better, and towards the end of the year, he was knocking on top 10s and just doing a great job in this number 37, and I expect that ascension to continue for him as he's coming down to complete the first lap. We'll see where he lands. Right down to that apron, to the grass, crosses the line, and it's a 50.528.
Charles Woods to the double line. Please park in between them.
Lap for the 37.
Yeah, you can tell the guys they put a little effort in the race cars and that need to get in here on speed, and the guys that are comfortable. So right now, here it is, Mark Jorgensen, the 88, first time here in the Monday night 811 call before you did Cup Series. I've been working on Mark for some time. He's actually, his work schedule worked out that he's able to now come compete full time. And you talk about the Falkinghams, the Colemans, the Parkers. Get ready to get introduced to Mark Jorgensen. This guy's going to be a real contender this year for the championship. I think his winning percentage, Kevin, is just unbelievable here, Sim500. When he shows up, he wins, and that's just it. I mean, he's batting like 60% every time he shows up. The guy's amazing. So, be interested to see what he comes up here as he's getting his first taste of the big boys here in the Monday Night Series, off at turn 4.
Still above that.
Go ahead and go, Charles.
Now he's going to creep down there to the flat.
Jimmy Coleman to the double line. Please park in between them.
And it's a 50.501 for Jorgensen on his first lap.
Yeah, I know he's not going to be happy with that one. Definitely not backing up what he did last night. He was definitely in the low 4s. So just, you never know. Just a little too much movement of the wheel, and that's your night. Mark will have to race his way in, but like I said, that 88 car is going to be strong. Byron Daly now on the racetrack. Byron, a former iRacing Pro Series driver. This is, I think he's raced just about every year with us on Monday. He's one of the top-tier guys. Won last year at Charlotte, I think it was. So expect a big campaign out of this driver this year.
New number for Daly. Usually ran the 33, see the 06, which is what Billy Pouch made famous running Flemington Speedway. But Bob and Joey, you guys both have had the pleasure and the pain of going out there and trying to put in a good lap. And I'll ask you, Bob, how do you not psych yourself out of screwing something up on that lap? You work so hard for one lap.
I think tonight one of the biggest things was just going out in the groups and kind of settling in, watching some of these other guys, it just, I think that really calmed my nerves a lot.
Go ahead, go,
a little
Jimmy.
bit extra time than what we normally have, and but it's always in the back of your mind, right? You're always worried, and then when you do start thinking about it, that's when those little mistakes, they start happening.
It's a 50.516 for Byron Daly. It's going to put him right now 20th in the stack. He's going to run lap number 2. And now, actually, he's going to pull it down and ease off that throttle and come down and pull the plug. And yeah, Bob, I don't know. Sometimes it doesn't bother you to watch all these guys run, and other times it just amps up that apprehension. And Joey, I guess you're like a flatliner. You're always the same to me.
I try to be, Kevin, and I don't know. It's either high strung or I don't know what. But hey, this guy right here, Charles Woods, was the fastest while ago in their practice session. So here he comes, as a veteran of the series, making. Actually, I think Charles may be locked into the top 30. You have to go back and double check. But this is going to be a quick lap out of this car, as he was the quickest in practice.
And I've noticed lately in this winter series that there's a little more pep in the step with this number 40.
Look at there, Kevin. Wow, what a lap. Holy cow. I didn't know Charles had it in him. What a great lap.
Blazing lap.
Good for him.
Man, there's no better guy to get a lap like that than Charles Woods, man. I was wondering while ago in practice, was that just something that, may a draft or whatever? Not that he didn't have speed, but, man, that's a lot of speed that Charles has got. That's almost a pole taken away from the defending champion. Going back to it, though, our boy, Bob, Jimmy Coleman on the racetrack, Sim500 Mafia. Let's see what old Jimmy Coleman's got to bring to the table.
Hey, Jimmy's been bringing the heat here lately. We all know that. Running up front, top 5, top 10 finishes. So I won't be surprised if Jimmy's going to give him a run for money here.
And this is the last car of Group 4. We have
all right, next set of cars.
Just 13 race cars to go.
Bobby Wetzel, Tyler Dalton, Daniel Falkingham, Benton Glazer, Justin Moms, Donnie Leah, Glenn Campbell, David Comstock, Doug Ross, Richard Beasley, Randy Yoakum, Ed Burrell, and Tommy Ryan. All right, Bobby Wetzel will come up to the double white line. Let's get him twinning, please. Come back, Glenn. Stop. All right, Bobby. Track's clear. Head out. All right, Tyler Dalton, come up to the double white lines. All right, Tyler, you're clear to go. Daniel, come on up to the double white line. Get in between them, brother. Daniel Falkingham, come on up. Just get in between the white lines, please. There you go. Nine is off the track. 9 is off the track.
Okay.
All right, Dan, you're clear to go, man. Bentley Blazer, come on up between the double Y lines.
How many point off?
All right, Bentley. Track is clear. Head on up. Justin Mounds, come up to the double lines.
Okay,
You're
we'll
good
be
there.
up there shortly. I know this has been a boring broadcast, but that's why I had the official broadcast playing in the background. I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to work.
Go ahead and go, Justin. Donnie Leah, go up and pull up to the double lines.
I'm pulling over here.
Donnie, you're clear. Go ahead and go, Donnie. Glenn Campbell, pull up to the double lines. Glenn Campbell, pull up to the double lines. Glenn, go ahead. David Comstock, come up to the double lines, park between them. Doug Roth, pull up to the line. Park between the two double lines. Go ahead and go, Doug. Richard Beasley, pull up to the line, park in between the double lines. Go ahead and go, Beasley. Randy Oakham, come up to the line, park between the double lines. Go ahead and go, Randy. Ed Burrell, pull up to the line, park between the two double lines. All right, I'm pulling off. Thank you, Beasley. Go ahead and go, Ed. come up to the line, park between the double lines.
Showing us the black flag. Begin heading to pit safely. You can come in and serve a 30-second penalty.
You're clear.
This is Ed's first year with the Monday Night Series. We got 2 cars to go. We got James Somke and Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan has been on the pole in Daytona, so it'll be interesting to see if Tommy can bring the thunder here.
Yeah, he's a veteran right there, and he knows how to get around this track and get speed. You know, you have to know what spots to hit in here, and Tommy definitely is a.
Crosses the line, Ed Burrell.
Still a little wiggle, and you cannot do that if you want
to. Speaking of Jose.
Looking at this, Yoakum and Ed Burrell, I think they're the last 2, and right now, well, it's looking pretty good for that defending champion. So whether he can score the pole here. Josh Parker is in first. Charles Wood, we just talked to him, second. Tyler Dalton, third. Jimmy Coleman, fourth. And Jose Gonzalez said, well, I was going to say he was fifth, but Randy Yoakum just slotted in. Good run for Randy to be a top 5 here.
Yeah, speaking of Jose Gonzalez, Randy Yoakum just knocked you back one, Jose.
Oh, that son of a...
Tell us about it, Jose, man. We figured you had a good shot. Although you was fast last night, but how'd your run go? I know you might be a little disappointed, but still great lap out of the race car.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I just did a little wiggle, and you cannot do that if you want to.
All right, thanks guys for coming out.
Catch that pole.
We'll have everything situated, ready to go.
You have to be perfect.
Get your heats all set up later.
And coming into turn 1, I just wiggle a little bit. And I don't know, maybe less than a foot, but that's enough here to get your car slowed down enough to not get that pole. That pole is pretty tough to beat.
Yeah, and if you did a wiggle, I did a wobble. But there you go. Ed Burrell just crosses the line. Ed Burrell first. This is Ed's first year with the Monday Night Series. We got 2 cars to go. We got James Somke and Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan has been on the pole in Daytona, so it'll be interesting to see if Tommy can bring the thunder here.
Yeah, he's a veteran right there, and he knows how to get around this track and get speed. you have to know what spots to hit in here, and Tommy definitely is the guy that I would be looking to maybe get me a spot lower than what I am right now.
Well, Jose, anybody you want to thank before we send you back down to the truck?
Just thank all of you guys, LSR TV and you and Sim500. You guys everybody's been doing a great job during this winter to get this league prepared for next year, and I'm really looking forward to this new season and good things coming. Awesome.
Jose Canseco.
Right.
Thank God the broadcast is almost over. Jose Gonzalez. He's definitely not on steroids. That's Jose Gonzalez. He's a meatball guy. Tommy Ryan not on the front row. Where is he at?
92 for Tommy Ryan. That's going to put him
15th.
Yeah, 15th.
Three cars tied. Ed Burrell right there tied with him, along with, it looks like, Glenn Campbell. All three cars split the time there. So I don't know, is qualifying over, or is Somke here to make a lap? So that's it. That is the end of the qualifying here in Daytona, the 2022 811 call before you did qualify night. Josh Parker, defending series champion Josh Parker on the pole.
That means I'm going to be in the
and our buddy Charles Woods. We're going to have to get them both back up here. See if we can find Parker and those guys and get them up here. What do you think, Kevin? Did you have a good time tonight?
Oh, this was a blast, and I look at how close these guys were. For Tyler Dalton, the 469 to a 468 for Woods kept him from being locked into the show. And right behind them, Jimmy Coleman was a 470. 2 1,000ths of a second separated these guys from getting into that top podium spot. But you got to give a call to Josh Parker. We haven't seen him this winter, and he just shows up here and steals the thunder.
Yeah, Josh Parker again is one of the best. I mean, he was, he's raced for Joe Gibbs on the other platforms. The guy's unbelievable. So yeah, it comes back here and a new number. We talked about new numbers in Josh Parker there. He's got a new one here. Matter of fact, our pole sitter just walked in the door. Here you go, Kevin.
There you go. Well, did you anticipate that? What do you think of that night, Josh Parker? That's a good night work.
No, not really. I didn't really think much of it. I didn't want to start up front. I mean, I don't know. No. I mean, I'm happy I got the pole, but yeah, it's Daytona. It really doesn't matter where you start. I mean, I was more thinking green flag pit stops. I was just putting a lap in, and I was more worried about. Yeah, I don't know.
I know where your headspace is, Josh, and I understand that, but there's got to be a little bit of swagger, right? You just come out, do your thing, and next thing you know, you're sitting on top of the pole and you got to yak with us, and that's not a difficult thing to do, I would believe. How about that lap? Take us through it. Where do you think you just exceeded where everybody else didn't run that pace?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I stalled the car leaving pit road. Instead of clutching it, I hit my ignition button going from first to second. So I thought my lap was all done there, but coming off of 4, coming to get the green, I noticed that my get up to speed wasn't really hurt by it. Yeah, that was the only thing I was worried about. I thought by the time I took the green, my chances were over, but yeah, it's easy with this Daytona. It's pretty much just hold this, a smooth line on as close to the bottom. I mean, honestly, I have no idea. Art Luther taught me how to qualify, 13 years ago on super speedways, and it's worked ever since.
New number, new colors.
No, I mean,
sir.
New old number. New old number. So
new old number, yeah. But you were 23 last year. We were used to seeing you in that. Back in the 81, you got your familiar interstate colors with you. And how about this season? You looking forward to doing it all over again?
Yeah. I mean, I ran I had switched from 81 to 23 in the Coke Series in 2012 for Jason Williams, and I felt like after winning the championship, it was all right, done with the 23. Now I want to go back to my 81, and that's the reason for that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how this new car races. It feels like it changes every week with updates. So yeah, no one really knows how it's gonna race, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's fun.
How much time have you put in with the new car so far?
Oh, a ton. I've been racing a ton still, 3 or 4 nights a week. I'll try to get on. I won't race, but I'm at least on my computer watching people race. So I've run it enough to understand it, but like I said, it changes a lot.
What's the biggest difference you've noticed so far, Josh?
The biggest difference? I mean, I don't know. The cars, I don't know. Honestly, it's tough. Like I said, it's changed so much, but it's really hard to say. It's tight. It's tighter than I normally like how it drives. It feels like the car squats and you can really feel the independent suspension. So it's just something we have to get used to.
Yeah, a lot of drivers have talked about the inability to turn, where they like to run a car a little bit looser. This car doesn't seem to have that feel, but you have to wonder if they'll adjust that or whether they're really emulating what the real car does. Hard to say at this juncture, so early in the season.
Yeah, I think the different size of the tire is going to be the biggest issue, but yeah, like you're saying, there's no track bar, so just small things that it's the car. Yeah, it's just different.
Okay, well,
when the car gets sideways, like I said, the independent suspension, it reacts differently than with having a solid axle. So, well, we'll learn. They dropped the arrow now, so I mean, we're already going to change again.
7.
Yeah, and when you look over to your right, at the green flag of the Daytona 300, you're going to see Charles Woods over to the side. A good run for Charles, and we welcome him in as he walks up. Charles, you and Josh Parker, good company here, qualified for the main event.
I may come back on later.
Yeah,
all depends, but I will be back on.
It's a little shocking, but I'm there. I'm happy.
So Josh was just talking about how the car drives, and I guess I'll ask both of you, and I'll start with you, Josh. What do you expect out of this Daytona?